Just going to ask you a few questions. Do you remember your visit by Zoom with Dr. Miller? A little bit at least.
We had a Zoom interview, yes.
Okay, and that was Miller in Florida, correct, as far as we know?
Yes.
And you and me were in my office, correct?
Yes.
And that was the first time that you had ever seen any of the video, correct?
Yes.
And were you able to watch it?
No.
And you did tell Mr. Miller that when Wright pulled away and got back into the driver's seat of the car, which was still running, Potter, that you could observe Johnson and Lucky struggling over the console, and it appeared that Johnson was trying to prevent Wright from putting the car in drive.
Objection, leading. The objection is overruled.
If you don't remember that, because it was a while ago, I can show it to you to refresh your memory.
I don't remember.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Read to yourself, Ms. Potter, the last sentence of the second to the last paragraph. Does that refresh your memory as to what you told him?
Yes.
And did you tell him that? Pardon me, I didn't hear you.
If it's in there, I must have. That day is so blurry.
Did you also tell them that you yelled taser, 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 so your partners would disengage from Wright?
Yes.
And just a few more questions here. Would it be routine, thinking back when you're a law enforcement officer for 26 years, would it be routine for you to unsnap your holster on the way to a car?
No.
And why not?
I'm only 5'3". If I would get into a fight, I could lose my gun.
Did you ever, in your career, shoot your gun at anybody?
No.
Did you ever shoot your gun in real life during your career?
No.
And did you ever shoot your taser during your career?
It was never deployed.
Is that what it means?
Yes.
And that would be real life. That would be when you have to use those weapons. That would mean it was an emergency situation, would it not?
Objection, leading.
Well, what would it mean to you?
Objection is sustained. I'll rephrase it.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Judge. What would that mean to you if you had to shoot your weapon?
That I might kill somebody.
When you three law enforcement officers, and excuse me, by the way, as far as reporting this shooting, would it be Sergeant Johnson, your boss, would be the one that would be required to do that?
Objection, leading.
Well,
Well,
rephrase it.
that. Who would be required, according to policy, to report the shooting? Would it be the shooter or the other person who was in charge there?
On that scene, it would have been Sergeant Johnson.
Because he was your supervisor, correct?
Yes.
And I got a couple more questions. If you stopped a vehicle in Brooklyn Center and you learned that there was a bench warrant for a weapons violation, you learned that there was a temporary restraining order a female had lodged against the person that said he was in the car, that gave his identity, but he really did. Mr. Wright ever give a valid identification for himself?
No.
And the other office, now you've got no valid information, you've got a gross misdemeanor, you got a temporary restraining order, you got marijuana smelled by your partner, you got no license, no insurance. Would you let that car go if you went up to it and were attempting to handcuff the individual and the car, he jumped back in? Would you have thought you should let him go, drive down the street?
No.
On the temporary restraining order, if you learn there is a temporary restraining order, is it protocol? Is it policy to, as soon as you learn that, jump out of the passenger side, run up to the car and ask the lady what her name was? Has that ever been heard of in police practice that you know of?
No.